This is a Minecraft glitch that hundreds of YouTubers have hid away from you for years, all because they knew once it was public it would be game over. But this is the story of how I accidentally found this glitch, and how it turned into one of Minecraft's greatest mysteries. It all started a few weeks ago. While I was going to spawn, I used to try to get up to a location. But while doing this, a dupe glitch occurred, creating a real working second version. And this was great for me, since for the last 5 months of the server, I've simply just been seen as a pawn for someone else's battle. But now, I can finally fight. But there were two problems: Lime and Ray X, the two people that are in the VC when I found this glitch. I found with Lime because he's my teammate, but Ray is the owner. And if Ray found out I was using this glitch, then I'll definitely get banned. But that's when I thought of a crazy idea. What if I got the owner to use this glitch? He won't be able to ban me, otherwise he would have to ban himself. Crazy logic, I know, but if I want a chance to be able to use this glitch, then this would be my only shot. So I decided to tell him and Lime everything I knew about this glitch, and they were in.
At a fair point, we have split into two groups. We have the people who go against the dupe, and we have the people who are agreeing with the dupe.
But all of this power came at a cost. Me, Lime, and Ray created an alliance called the Dupers, but once they got hold of this glitch, they kicked me out of the team straight away and invited 2 other players. Or the best PvPers on the server, Space, and a literal fish, man. Are you really gonna replace me with a goddamn fish? But that was no longer important. I decided to go to spawn to see the damage that had been done, but as I was going to spawn, I saw something. Sitting on a tree was a single player wearing full netherite armor which is fully banned on the server. If you thought this is the start of a horror movie, then I probably wouldn't blame you. But a strange occurrence didn't end there, because as I started to walk towards them, they had logged off right in front of me. But there was no logout message. Was someone pulling a prank on me? Or was this the start of some kind of cult? I truly didn't know. I decided to tell this to my other teammate, Zachlord, about everything that I had just seen. But the only thing that he told me was that I was paranoid. But I didn't have enough time to sit around anymore. My plan was still to go to spawn to see the damage done after the dupe war. But as I got there was something waiting for me. Okay, this is some lore. A sign was left in the house simply saying, "Will be my meal, the World Eater," with the target also being stated in it being a team named the ASRL. But the thing is, this team didn't actually exist. At least when you look at it from surface level. You might remember when I said there was a team called the Dupers, which I used to be on. But if you look at the full members of the team and take all the first letters of their name, it adds up to ASRL. Exactly the team that I want to know about. So that meant it was one of the non-Dupers, a faction that assembled to stop the Dupers' reign of terror. And since one of the leaders was online, Duxity, I decided to ask him a few questions. But after I asked him, he said he found something at spawn. He found another sign just like the first one, with the exact same message. The only difference about this one was that the targets were different. This time the targets were a group named DCI, and after asking my teammate Zachlord, he had figured out who the 3 people were: Duxity, Confused, and Ivory, the 3 leaders of the non-Dupers. And for me and Duxity, this was very confusing. Since it couldn't be either of the 2 sides, who could it possibly be? So me and Duxity decided to go around spawn, finding anything that can help us solve this mystery. And all I can tell you for sure is we definitely found something. There's literally blocks, so it's still fresh, or like no one's gone here or anything like that, but there seems to be a hole. Like, there's a little bit of floppy damage, you know?
What the Nom?
Another sign was left in front of the hole, saying Nom, as if they were taunting us in some kind of way. I don't know what the hell is this, bro. Why are people...
Wait a second. Who after Jake and my parents mentioned on any of the songs?
You have a good point now.
We don't trust them as well. So
real.
This is definitely rule breaking.
I mean, if I'm right about the netherite, it's already rule breaking, yeah. And Duxity was right. This wasn't just a player just placing some signs for a little bit of fun anymore. This was an actual threat to the server itself. Fast forward a few hours later, an announcement had been made in Obscure, simply stating whoever blew up this build would be banned from the server permanently. This is a method that the server only used to try and bring them out to the light, but nothing actually happened. Or at least that's what I thought until I was called on Discord. There are 2 people in the VC, Duxity and Ray, and that's when Ray asked me for the time that the incident happened, since he was going to use server logs to try and find who the player was. And after telling him the time, only 1 player came up. For them. You see, Verden has always been a player that I didn't understand. Since season 1 of the server, they were known as the most peaceful player, but since then, they've been playing in the shadows, with one simple goal: to make the entire server turn on each other. But even with this goal, they've done absolutely nothing. This was the same theory that everyone was throwing around, but I thought something different. What if Verden wasn't actually the World Eater? What if he was actually being framed? Let me explain something. When I was figuring out this mystery at the start, it seemed like a fun challenge for me to do, but unfortunately I didn't know the Pandora's box I was opening. But there's one thing that I had found which could help me solve this mystery: a consistent theme: food. A constant craving for something to consume. That's what this entire mystery centered around. When they were saying that they would eat the world, describing builds as meals, and having signs at class builds saying nom, all of this relates back to this idea of eating. So let me ask you, would it be a good idea for Verdant to blow up all the builds at spawn, and even risk getting banned just for a restaurant? Well, no, that's a terrible idea. But the last piece of the puzzle is always what confused me. It's the only reason why I don't think it's him. The netherite. When I had said I had found the netherite armor, people just called me paranoid for it. Or what if it was the thing that linked everything together? See, the only two clues that had been given was that the signs were related to everything that was happening, but the two things that didn't add up were the targets. And after thinking about this mystery for the next few hours, I couldn't think of anything that would actually make sense. But as I started to go to spawn, I remembered something. Everyone in the server was using the dupe glitch that I had started, creating the largest war this server has ever seen. A war between the dupers and the non-dupers, with the dupers trying to take over the server by duping, and the non-dupers trying to save the server. And in a way, this war was created by me. And after two targets being on the two sides of the dupe war, there would easily be a chance that the World Eater would show up. But if I was going to identify this player, I would definitely need a plan. And that's where my teammate Zach comes in. Since the start of the server, Zach has been my most trusted teammate, with the others either being inactive or betraying the team. Zach was going to be the key to help me find the World Eater. During the dupe war, me and Zach are going to be on two different teams, with Zach being in the dupers and me being in the non-dupers. But it doesn't really matter who wins, because whichever side wins, we're going to attack the other side, and hopefully with enough commotion, we should be able to bring out the World Eater. And while my plan isn't flawless, it definitely could work. But the only thing I was thinking about was that I was wasting my time, that all of this would be pointless in the end. But I know it's too late to turn back now. After a day of waiting, the dupe war finale was finally here, but there were some rules that I wasn't aware of. The team of dupers would start 1,000 blocks away from spawn, with the non-dupers chasing them, and every 15 minutes this border would shrink until they eventually were just stuck to spawn. Except for the fact that we ain't gonna chase them, bro. Let's be real, bro. We ain't gonna chase them for the next hour, bro. So all of us decided to wait to spawn, waiting for them to eventually arrive.
Okay, well, what's my name in obscure private? Daddy Blue, just give me some food, please.
And after half an hour of waiting,
Someone's here! Someone's here! Someone's here!
Sandy. What do you mean they're actually here, bro? Of course they're actually here.
but even though our team was prepared for this fight, a few seconds in, one of our teammates had already died, and that one would later become two, after one of our best PvPers, Jakimon, also died. And that's when one of our best PvPers, Bex, said,
I'm trying to dip, bro, honest.
Honestly, I'm kind of down, bro.
whether I die or not in this fight, nothing will change. The entire point of me coming to this fight was to find the World Eater, and with them not showing up, there'll be no point in me fighting. So I decided with no point being here, to escape the fight alive. But what I didn't see was the player right behind me.
Yeah, also, you have to remember, he's one of the people that found some of the science. It could just be him. And also, he's very active.
There was walls around spawn, and he was the one who took the walls away.
No, I can literally just go out.
I got killed by duck.
Dusty has betrayed the non-dupers, killing the remainder of our team within a matter of a few minutes. But the only thing I could think about in that moment was if Dusty was the World Eater, feeding me lies while trying to solve this mystery. But if I wanted to get information out of Dusty, I would have to force the information out of him. Just like that, he had gotten away, and along with Dusty went any remnants of the World Eater, because for the next week they would completely disappear. So I decided to talk to my teammate Zach to discuss the people that could be suspects.
It just might be you, you know? Obviously, another one would be Verdant, that I have to somewhat consider. It is, like, everything does lead back to him.
It's clearly him.
It's
literally him, bro. Everything he said came true.
Yeah, but also you have to consider the fact that it could easily just be a frame. It just makes way too much sense being him. Another one that I haven't really considered, but I only started considering it literally like today, was it could be Lime. Mostly...
No, Lime is burning.
No. But here's the thing. Why do you think nothing's been happening? Because literally, in last week, nothing's happened. He could be one of them.
Pretty sure our base is more explosive this time.
But it wasn't Yeah, that is not normal, bro. Like,
I mean, it doesn't look any more like.
no, like it wasn't the full thing. It was like only like a bit bigger, but now they made it way more wider. Let's see inside.
Well, why'd they come back to it?
I don't know what the. Oh no! Listen, wait. The stairs. This looks a bit normal. Okay. No, these were not gone. This was not gone. Why is it dark over here?
And it was a good question. Why did the World Eater come back here? Only a few weeks ago they had gone to the base to destroy it, even though we had already publicly evacuated it. So what reason would they have to go back there? Well, the answer will be given to us very soon. But first, I'm gonna have to ask you to subscribe. I literally never asked this, but I kinda need this, so, you know, please. As I got on the server the next day, I was simply just going for a walk, and that's when I found something had changed in my old base.
So essentially, they just kind of got rid of all the stairs.
What?
Someone had came to the base to break some stairs. Why? Honestly, I don't know, man. I think these people are just so bored. But there are also some signs left on the floor, just like the start of the mystery.
Hey, the finale is here. Go down with a lectern down some stairs. That's essentially what it is.
Wait, should I come back to base?
Yeah.
Oh, how come it's... How do they notice that we come to here? Like, how? Bro, the terrain over here is different from before. Whoa.
That's why I even checked it out. And then
What the? Okay, let's read this. Hey, I know for the past few weeks I've been a bit inactive on my duties, but I think it's time to begin my final game. Zachler MC, I know where your new base is, but don't worry, it won't be my next meal if you simply comply with my term. 1. You have 3 days to identify who I am. 2. Leave a sign with the name of my identity. If you can't find out who I am, then everything will be destroyed right in front of you, and it'll be your fault.
Have fun, King. These were the last words that we were given, and from now, we had no idea what to do. But as we were panicking, Zach said something that would change his entire situation.
Bro, why does it make me think that it's you?
Zach Lord, the person I trusted for the last 6 months to be my teammate. Over all the wars that happened in the server, all of them that we won, all of them that we lost, the person I trusted most with anything had accused me of being the ringleader of this entire mystery. And I don't really know what to say. Even though I had accused him earlier as a joke, he was being 100% serious. And it made me realize something. It wasn't only my base that was on the line anymore, it was also my friendship with Zach. Everything is on the line, and I can't afford to lose this team.
Why is bro betraying me now?
No, it's because we were talking about this like a while ago, weren't we? About the world leader and how it's been inactive and stuff.
Yeah, what's your point?
And now it comes over here.
You know, now I'm thinking about it, this does seem like something I'll do, isn't it? Yeah.
But then who do you think it is? Because all I can flip and think of is you or Verdun.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for, really, just trusting me at the end. You know, I even crossed you off my list. But now you're back on it. Well done, buddy. Alright, okay. Who do we need to just kind of like break down who we have.
But like, what if this whole time, the first few things that the world leader did was to make it sus on Verdun, so we would forget about whoever's actually like other person who's sus.
Why is it? What? It makes a lot of sense being Verdun, because obviously the restaurant, the things that he says, the things he does. But realistically, you have to realize that this is a man that is literally homeless. Do you think he has the time and the money to be able to do this?
That's what I'm saying.
That's not what you're saying.
This is the final game then. So after, if we beat this, then there's not gonna be like what? Did we just win?
Zachlo got off that night, but this simple word just stuck in my head. I had been focused so much on the World Eater for the last few weeks that I forgot to ask myself, why was I actually doing this? Why was I putting in so much effort for something that might not even be that interesting? Well, I think it's because it reminded me of another time, the only other time that I felt this lost, before the dupe war, before anything. At the start of the server, I was completely alone, and that's how I was for weeks, barely surviving in the tundra with just iron armor. And when I was at my weakest, he was the one who saved me. And as hours turned to days, and days turned into weeks, I started to trust my new team, my new friends. But I knew it wasn't going to be sunshine and roses for long. So Lime, why did you betray? You know what this means now, right? I have to be the one to kill you.
Like, I was thinking about this, right? But the only reason why people even think it's for them is because of us. Like, just think about it. We've been the people that have been doing this entire mystery. We've been trying to figure this out for the last 2 months. And the only reason why people think it's for them is server logs. So if the server logs say it's for them only because he was on at the same time, it doesn't mean anything. Because it could have just conveniently been like someone else being on server logs. Ray could have lied. So many other things could happen. Like, it literally could be Ray. Because to put something like this up, you have to literally have impossible odds or literally have access to admin. Because there's no way you would be able to be on at the exact same time as other people without them noticing and then doing all these clues and having netherite armor without anyone like catching you or anything like that. The only way that you can get caught without the admins caring is that if you're an admin yourself. So if theoretically could be either Ray or Vola, but Ray doesn't know what's really happening. Like, he barely knows what's going on. And then Vola also doesn't know what's happening. So he barely knows what's going on. And Darcy, I don't know what's even happened to him. I just know he's doing something. I don't know what it is, but like, he's just doing something. So logically, it can't be anyone. Which, once again, just proves the point where this is literally just an impossible mystery. Why am I doing this? Like, I've been trying to do this mystery for about a month now, like over a month, and I'm just like thinking to myself, why? Because like, if it's an admin, what am I gonna do? What am I logically going to do if it's an admin? If it's not an admin, what am I going to do? Because I haven't got enough clues by this point to be able to solve this. And we don't even know if it's 3 days anymore. It literally could be 3 days, it could be 2 days until everything, like, use logic here, okay? In 3 days, our base is going to blow up. That is a near guarantee. They would not threaten us with our literal... They haven't said our base codes, but they wouldn't know that base without knowing our actual base. It's literally... It's not even that far away from each other. So, they probably know where our base is, and we can't risk that. Even if we could just go with the gamble that don't know where our new base is, but we also have to go with the gamble that they do, and we only have about 3 days to do it. But then we also don't know when that book was placed. It could have been placed 2 days ago. And then if we just don't do it tomorrow, then it could just go boom, and we wouldn't know. Or it could be in 3 days, so we have 3 days. But the guaranteed like date that it has to be submitted is probably tomorrow, to guarantee that it's not being 3 days. The time limit is so limited now that we can't even like try and think of any new plans. We can't interview people. We can't do anything. I obviously care about the mystery for the whole video stuff, but like, at the end of the day, is it worth doing this for the sake of my sanity? I'm just done, because I'm not gonna find who it is in a day. Like, it's just a dumb mystery. It's so stupid. There's nothing we could do, and then we just have to accept the reality that we basically have lost. If there's no clear mystery, then what can we do? I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm so tired, man.
I decided to log off. I wanted to be away from everything. I wanted to be away from this mystery. I didn't want to think about it anymore. But as if the world was giving me a message, they just wouldn't let me rest. I think you're the World Eater. It turns out that Dusty was banned for the last 5 days for rule breaking. But not only that, they also suspected me of being the World Eater. You found the signs, you guessed it was Zach. And even though I wanted to deny it, everything he was saying was right. And it made me think to myself, what if I just wasn't here? I'm sure the server would be better without me. But if the server's already forgotten about me, then why not have one more try?
Alright, so I've essentially been put in a situation where I am the last person that has to actually do a, vote. So realistically, we have more time, but if we don't get it done by today, it's a lot riskier tomorrow. I thought this idea, right? I don't think it's for them. I don't think it's Zach. I don't really think it's Lime or Bex or Dusty or anything like that. I thought of this simple idea of who it is, and I don't know if it'll make sense if I pull it, but I have to essentially try at this point. The idea of the World Eater is just to eat the world. It's a very simple concept. Now, how would you realistically know as much information as you do, even information that our own team knows, if you're not on the team? So it's not me. And if I truly believe it's not that, then it would only be one more person. Alright, you know what? We're on budget, bro. We're on budget. I need a sign. This is real unfortunate. Alright. I think that the person is... why am I making this sound like some kind of announcement? This is an announcement. I think that the answer would actually just be this. I feel like, if anything, it would just be some reverse psychology stuff. Like, the answer that no one would think of. It would basically be a guaranteed base if I just said someone on the server. So if I go for no one, it's either going to confuse them, or I might be right. I'm just going to have to submit that and go. I mean, what the hell else can I do?
And that's where the story ends. To tell you the truth, I logged on the next day to find my base still there. But in return, I never found out who the worldies truly was. The final game never had a true ending. But real talk, this isn't the end of this entire story. Even though this worldies guy might be gone, this is just a prologue to a much bigger mystery. One which would lead to the end of the entire world.
I know exactly where I'm going.
Into hardcore.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
I guess I should probably say welcome to hardcore mode, Jerry. What? I'm going to fucking kill you.
I mean, it would also make this video like an entire hour long, so I'm just not gonna do all that, and I kinda need to upload before someone else complains. So instead of saying see you soon like I normally do in these videos, I'll just simply say this. I'll upload when I'll upload. Jesus Christ, I'm not gonna upload, bro.